This is a story about a dude named Lane. He moved to the mainland and bought one place to stay. And then one day he went, tried to rent them out. And then he became one real investor man.
Hey guys, Lane's here with the Simple Passive Cash Flow Podcast. As I said before, this podcast is from a passive investor's perspective. What you hear on the podcast is just one person's view, and you guys should be collecting data points for a variety of sources. I've been meeting a lot of people through my meetup, and there's a lot of new people out there just wanting to get into real estate because they're afraid of the stock market, and quite frankly, I'm pretty afraid of the stock market for them. One question that comes out quite frequently are, what books should I read to prepare myself? Now, if I were starting out investing, here are the Fab 4 books that I would recommend, and the trifecta of business books that you should read on top of those. And here they are, in order. First, the real estate books. Number 1, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. That little purple book written by Robert Kiyosaki is probably the most quintessential real estate book there is. It sort of lacks the tangible how-tos and actionable items. However, the mindset change that happens after reading this book is pretty amazing. A lot of people, after reading this book, pretty much become useless at their job and pretty unemployable. The second book is Millionaire Real Estate Investor. Now, this book has a lot of the nuts and bolts and fundamentals of actual real estate investing. There's a lot of really cool graphs in the book, a lot of good figures, and it really has a lot of the basics that a real estate investor should know about. And that's Millionaire Real Estate Investor by Gary Keller. Third is Cashflow Quadrant. This is kind of the second book that you should read from Mr. Kiyosaki, who also wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad. In this book, Robert Kiyosaki talks about the 4 quadrants, and they are the entrepreneur, the business owner, the investor, and the employee. He talks about recognizing which quadrant you're in, and he urges us to get into the more entrepreneur quadrant, because those are the people who don't work for their money, but have big real estate empires that create cash flow for them. The fourth book is Equity Happens by Robert Helms and Russell Gray. These are the guys who run the Real Estate Guys podcast, and I recently met them a few weeks ago in Texas at a seminar. The book is split up in 2 parts. The first part follows a protagonist newbie investor into the world of investing, and the second part really talks about a lot of very important fundamentals, such as the crossover point and some more macro investing principles. Unfortunately, this book is out of print, and there's a lot of usury type prices out there. So it's out there, but I would wait till they re-release it here in the next few years, if they ever do. On to the business books. First, The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss is probably the most important business book out there for the new age business. Talks about outsourcing what you can and really spending your time on really what's most important to you and the whole lifestyle design. Second is The E-Myth by Michael Gerber. Michael talks about that there's 3 types of people in every business. You got the visionary at the top who just kind of acts as an executive. You got the manager in the middle, and you have the technician. Unfortunately, what happens a lot in any business is the business owner is either not the technician, manager, or executive. Just like in real estate, where I've mentioned that we need to realize what we have, knowledge, money, or time. In business, you need to recognize which of the 3 levels you are and how you can play up to your strengths. Third is Think and Grow Rich, and this is probably the most popular self-help book out there. I'd recommend reading this again and again because it's a pretty thick book and there's a whole bunch of content in there. All the self-help gurus such as Tony Robbins and Jim Rohn regurgitate the ideas in this book. Now, in my opinion, those are really all the books that you need to read to get started. And reading any more, in my opinion, is just overkill. But that's just my opinion again. Don't be that self-help guy or shelf-help guy using the crux, I need to read more to get more educated. You need to step up and take action. How many freaking books are you going to read, man? Many Fortune 500 human resources departments use the theory of the 70-20-10 rule in developing employees, which apply here. 70% is doing, 20% learned by peers, and 10% is the academic book classroom training type. Tim Ferriss talks about the $100,000 MBA, where you don't really go to school, but you jump right into business or investing. This method may lead you to operate at a loss, but you will still have far more experience in getting that silly $100,000 MBA degree from some brick-and-mortar school. and a World on Real Estate training. Why would you want to spend $20,000 to $30,000 on training when that alone is a down payment on a cash flowing property that you could learn through doing and make $300 to $400 a month cash flow? Heck, you could even buy an overpriced second-tier turnkey property and get your education that way too. We'll leave you guys with the simple passive cash flow action plan. First, read these 7 books that I've mentioned here. And second, keep yourself accountable. As Arnold says, stop being a whiny baby and do it. If you guys are interested in checking out the book list, go to simplepassivecashflow.com and check out my links there. If you guys want to support the site, please use the website affiliate links at no additional cost to you. I will earn a commission if you decide to purchase, which helps pay for the various costs of running this website. Thanks, bye! This website offers very general information concerning real estate for investment purposes. Every investor situation is unique. Always seek the services of licensed third-party appraisers and inspectors to verify the value and condition of any property you intend to purchase. Use the services of professional title and escrow companies and licensed tax, investment, and or legal advisor before relying on any information contained herein. Information is not guaranteed, as in every investment there is risk. The content found here is just my opinion, and things change, and I reserve the right to change my mind. Above all else, do your own analysis and think for yourself, because in the end, you are the only person who is going to look out for your best interests.